the highest paid Russian hockey player, who secretly started dating the daughter of the head coach of the national team. All this is Artemi Panarin. The best moments from his life in today's video. Artemi was born in the Chelyabinsk region and spent his entire childhood in the village of Korkino. Because his parents divorced, the boy was raised by his grandmother, who worked as a dressmaker, and his grandfather, a former hockey player who worked in a mine. Money was not enough for everything, so in addition the family decided to have cow and sell milk. Adults were worried that Artemi could get in touch with a bad company, so it was decided that his grandfather would give him to a hockey school. From the age of 7 the boy began to play in the children's hockey team Tractor. At the first trainings it became clear that the boy had a prospect to become an excellent forward, but he himself didn't like this sport. He often skipped trainings and was embarrassed by his old equipment, which was laughed at by his teammates. Over time, this fact only hardened Panarin's character. When he was 13 years old, a friend's father placed him in the Podolsk sports boarding school, where he began to play for the Vityaz club. Here, for the first time, he put on a new hockey outfit and picked up not a homemade, but a real stick. At that moment his joy had no limits, because before that he had not felt the puck. Until 2008 the novice hockey player played in the youth league, and at the beginning of the next year he was announced in the main team. And he played both in the KHL and in the youth league. In total until 2011, in 2 teams in Podolsk, he played 157 games and earned 121 points. In 2012 Panarin was traded to Akbars in exchange for cash compensation, but the hockey player scored only 5 points in 12 games and failed to score in any of the 3 playoff games. After that, Artemi returned to Vityaz, where he played 1 more season, in which he scored 18 points in 40 games played. And in 2013 he was proposed by St. Petersburg SKA, to which the hockey player agreed. During this time the athlete improved tactics and technique of the game. For 2.5 years in the team, Panarin earned 132 points and in the last season 14-15 won the Gagarin Cup. After winning the finals, Panarin signs with the Chicago Blackhawks for 2 seasons. He played in the same lineup with Patrick Kane and Artem Anisimov. In his debut game in October 2015, he scored 1 goal against the New York Rangers. By the way, in the game against the same team, the hockey player made his first hat-trick in the NHL. He finished the regular season with 77 points in 80 games and won the Calder as the best rookie in the NHL. The very next season Panarin made a hat-trick of Gordie Howe, scoring the game-winning goal in overtime, giving up an assist and tussling with a St. Louis hockey player. At the end of the season the hockey player had 74 points in the goal plus pass system. In the summer of 2017 the management decided to trade Panarin and several other players to Columbus. Surprisingly, in the new club he managed to open the scoring account and make his second hat-trick in the NHL, also against the Rangers. At the end of the regular season the hockey player scored 82 points, which became a new personal record as well as the Blue Jackets record for points scored. The following season he scored 5 more points with 2 fewer games played than the previous season. The same year in the playoffs, Columbus reached the conference semifinals, where they still lost to Boston 4-2. In 10 games in the playoffs, Panarin scored 5 goals and gave 6 assists. By that time, Artemi had reached the level of a top-tier player, and in the off-season became a free agent who was of interest to many NHL clubs. After negotiating with several clubs in the league, Panarin signed a 7-year contract with the New York Rangers for a total of $81.5 million. Panarin's average annual income is $11.5 million, it making him the highest paid Russian hockey player. Ovi, did you hear that? And the second highest average annual salary after Connor McDavid. In his first season with the Rangers, Panarin became the club's leading scorer and third leading scorer in the league, with 95 points in 69 games during the regular season. By the way, can you guess who took first and second place that year? Write your guesses in the comments, and we'll tell you how many total points Panarin scored while playing for the Rangers. At the time of recording the video, the hockey player has a total of 341 points in the regular seasons. I wonder if Panarin will score 100 points this season, and will the Rangers reach the conference finals? Okay, let's wish Panarin more wicket taking and less penalties, and we'll talk about the hockey player's success with the national team. Artemi does not have as many gold medals as the previous stars from our videos, but let's pay attention to it. Just in 2011 he got his first medal as a member of the Russian national team. It was the Youth Championship where Russia took the first place, and Panarin earned 5 points in 7 games. Also, on the account of the hockey player, there is one silver medal of the World Championship 2015. In the final, the Russian team lost to Canada with a score of 6-1, and by the time Artemi had already scored 10 points. The athlete also won 2 bronze medals at the World Championships in 2016 and 2017. In total, for the adult national team, Panarin scored 16 pucks and gave 28 assists. At the time when Panarin was at training camp in 2015, the coach was Oleg Znarok. He introduced Artemi to his daughter Alisa, who works as a model. And after a long time, they began to communicate closely. Oleg found out about their relationship later, and after the training camp hinted to Artemi to be more serious. Then Alisa flew to him in the USA, and now they are already husband and wife. They often travel and post photos together. In fact, their dating history and information about how Alisa's father felt about it is just unique. We will tell you about it in a separate issue soon. Well, now Oleg Znarok and Artemi get along well. Artemi's first skates were figure skates, and instead of laces they were ordinary ropes. He also played with a homemade stick until the age of 13 due to lack of money. As a child, grandmother Nina gave a boy a ruble coin for each goal scored. These trophies he kept in a matchbox. His first money received in Chicago Blackhawks, hockey player spent on SUV, which he proudly gave to his grandfather in memory of the old rusty Russian UAZ, which his grandfather used to take him to training. Artemi is grateful to him for the fact that he has done much more for him than his parents. And when the hockey player comes to his native places, he likes to ride his iron horse. Why is Panarin called Bread? It's simple. His surname is consonant with the Panera Bread bakery chain, which many people in the USA know. The Chicago coach immediately started calling him Breadman, so it stuck. A real scandal erupted after the confession of the former Russian coach Andrei Nazarov about the beating of a girl by Artemi back in 2011 in Riga. This information quickly leaked to the internet and became the subject of wide publicity. Panarin himself prepared a lawsuit in court in a libel case. As a result, Panarin continued his career in the NHL, as the club's management supported the player, seeing political motives in the case. Panarin likes an unconventional approach to preparing for the season. As training, he studied Thai boxing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu techniques. By the way, here is a selection of his goal celebrations. If the video was interesting for you, then support it with your fat like. What do you think? What needs to be done for Panarin to win the Stanley Cup? Will he score 100 points in this regular season? And what do you think about the difficulties of his childhood? Write in the comments. Check us out on Telegram and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Sport City, Max Konov, goodbye.